So, Councillor Purnell, thank you very much for coming along and answering residents' questions. But just before we get started, you've been leader of the council now for around about a month.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask you about how you've been finding it and to maybe just say a little bit more about your journey into local politics while you used to be a councillor.
Of course. So I joined up for the Labour Party when I was 16.
Okay.
And I first went out canvassing. And then when I joined the police, I left the party and I rejoined in 2019.
Okay.
I remember in my history class learning about the origins of the Conservative Party.
Okay.
And the Tories. This is like GCSE history. And I learned about how the Tories were all about maintaining the status quo, and that kind of that had an influence on my politics then, moving forward. So I joined the Labour Party, and it was in 2020. I had my daughter, and I made a promise to her that she would go to school under a Labour government. Then we had COVID, we had sewage in the rivers, we had all sorts of horrendous things happening in politics, and it wasn't the grown-up politics that I would always remembered. So I remember an email coming to us saying, local elections are coming up. Anybody that can spare some time to help, please get in touch. So I replied and I said, I'm a single mum, but I really want to do what I can, just let me know. So I received a phone call and they say, we had a little chat, would you like to stand? And I thought, I don't really know what this means. So you have to Google, what does a councillor do? And I thought, yeah, I could really enjoy this. I could really enjoy this. So I did it, and then here we are. So it's been a month since I took over the leadership, and it has been a roller coaster and a whirlwind, but also great fun.
Nice.
Really good fun.
What have you found most fun about it?
The fact that you get to make decisions to make people's lives better. You get to say, we're going to prioritise in this, we're going to prioritise this, and we're going to, for example, violence against women and girls, and we're going to improve the lives of women and girls in this borough, and that's an amazing feeling.
So you talk about violence against women and girls there, and you made a statement when you were elected, and made that one of your kind of top priorities for the council. Actually, Priya, who is one of our local residents who wrote in to ask you about that statement, and what it is that you're going to be doing to try and improve the situation and tackle violence against women and girls locally.
Well, we've got our domestic abuse strategy, which is due to go through cabinet next month. So we have asked for 2 additional actions to put in the action plan.
Right.
The first is a women's charter, women's safety charter across the borough. So you will have businesses, gyms, sports clubs, colleges, all signing up to this charter. And as a signatory, there is training opportunities. So you get active bystander training. So if you see something happening, you know how to intervene. You'll know how to report anything that is reported to you. You will know what to do. And I think I gave a story on Friday just gone at a meeting, and I said there was a local girl who was on a bus and she had an awful experience on that bus. So she tells the bus driver, and he doesn't know what to do, and he just ushers her off the bus. Instead of him knowing how to report it and how to take positive action, it was dismissed. And we can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have, those types of offences taking place. And people, to know
people
what to do.
But people that you might encounter at a moment of vulnerability, or where you might be approached, or something happens, on public. We know that it happens on public transport, or if people are out traveling in the evening or whatever. So you do want those people who are doing those jobs to be aware of how to intervene, how
to report. That's critical. In addition to that, on the preventative side, we are looking at working with schools to ban mobile phones.
Wow. Okay.
So
hot topic.
A very hot topic. I, we have to give our young men, young boys a chance to be influenced by the so many wonderful, great men that we have in this borough. The positive role models that we've got locally, rather than this negative, misogynistic online world that they can get drawn into. And I just think if we can ban mobile phones in schools, that's going some way. That's going some way to prevent it. I'm actually part of a group called Smartphone Free Childhood, which is where parents all come together and they say, we are not getting our sons or daughters a mobile phone until 13 or 14 or whatever it might be. We're not doing it. We'll all not do it. So there's no peer pressure from their friends that someone's got a phone and someone hasn't. And it just gives a child the time to be a child without having access to the world in the palm of their hand.
Yeah, and that's very much what a lot of parents, I know, like from talking on the doorstep to people locally in Bracknell, it's exactly that, preserving that childhood time when they can be just free and not
don't worry about
set upon by the world.
What you look like, what you're wearing. I know that you've got so many years for that to worry about that. When you're 8 or 9 years old,
you don't want to be worrying about it.
It shouldn't be the first thing on your mind. So anyway, I just think that would help. That would help children, that would help parents, that would help teachers.
And just on that, is there anything that you can say about the process of that particular move? Like, do schools have to be consulted? That's not, i.e., this is not something that's going to happen tomorrow, is it?
No, absolutely. We're going to speak with schools. I mean, I know that a lot of schools do already have a
sort of voluntary
phone-free policy, but it's working with schools, working with head teachers to see what we can achieve here.
Nice. So on that violence against women and girls point, you've got those two actions going into, did you say it was a strategy? The domestic abuse strategy. Okay, great. Well, hopefully that helps answer Priya's question.
Hopefully. And also we've got at full council on the 22nd this week, we've got Thames Valley Police coming in.
Okay.
And I'm actually asking them a question about how they can help us, what they can do to help us with this priority as well.
The most common thing that we were asked about on this, like 5 or 6 residents wrote in, all about development in the town centre. So I wondered if you could just talk about why there is development in the town centre and how that meets our goals to protect our local environment.
Of course. There are so many young people and young families still living with their parents in Bracknell Forest, and there's no hope and there's no chance for them to get onto the property ladder. What the council can do to help them and to solve that situation is to build more housing. We are building in the town centre because, of course, there is already the infrastructure here. You are very close walking distance from the bus station, the train station. You've got wonderful cycle paths all over the town, and land in the town centre is predominantly land that the council actually still owns. So we have a greater say as to whether they will how many social and affordable properties go on each development. Affordable housing is of course important, but we also have a lot of families in Bracknell Forest who are on our housing register and who are waiting for a social accommodation. I know of families, 2 children and 2 adults living in a 1-bedroom flat. Which is just not. It's just not suitable to bring children up that way, and we need to be able to provide for them and give them a suitable, safe place to live, and that's a priority for this administration as well.
Yeah, nice. So, I mean, as you were saying, young people and families across the borough, you want them to stay in the borough.
Absolutely, we do. We want them to come here, be educated here, to start families here, to work here, to start a business here, and to really contribute to the growing local economy.
Amazing. And to just talk about the environment then,
yes,
on that sort of second question.
Yeah. So we are so fortunate in Bracknell Forest that we have some wonderful green spaces and wooded spaces. You know, we have Swinley Forest on our doorstep. We have not only that, we have South Hill Park, we have Lily Hill Park, and then every corner of the different wards in Bracknell has its own green spaces, its own parks, and those are protected spaces, and they will not be built on, they cannot be built on, but we will build where we can, and we will make sure that every resident in this borough has a safe and secure house, roof over their head.
At the moment, there is an IT problem at the council, which means that you can't do land registry searches, and so that's put all the purchases on hold. So we had Ashley who wrote in about that issue and wanted to know what the council is doing about it.
Okay, yeah, of course. This is an absolutely unacceptable situation. It is quite technical what has happened. So I have prepared some notes on my phone, which I may refer to from time to time. But to give some context here, back in 2023, the council agreed to buy a new system for their land registry. And of course, if you're buying a house, you need to do a land registry search, or indeed if you're selling. That new system went live earlier this year, but the information, the data, wasn't being pulled correctly.
Okay.
So what you were getting out at the end was not a legally valid document that could be used. So I understand that the technical issues are on Arcus's end, and the council is working with them to get a fix.
Yeah.
I'm aware that our MP has also written, Peter Swallow has also written to the CEO of Arcus, applying more pressure. I have asked for daily briefings from officers so that we can be aware of what is happening, what has happened that day, and where we are for that evening, and what we're going into the next day. The latest update I had on Friday is that there is hopefully a fix, a solution, but that needs to be tested, and that testing will take place next week. All being well, we will then be back online and able to perform searches. There is, of course, a large backlog that we need to get through, and once we are back online, the priority will be working through that backlog as quickly as possible. It will be first come, first served. So whoever's been waiting the longest will get dealt first. And you know, I've sort of said to officers that we need to get more staff in to do this. We need to make sure that that backlog is cleared as soon as possible. It's simply not acceptable that people have been waiting however long to be able to move forward in their sale.
So IT systems as well. We had Simon write in and ask about the council's reporting system, saying that sometimes it's quite difficult to use. So I just wonder whether you could talk about whether you've had residents who've written to you about that, and what the kind of situation is.
Yeah, of course. So the council online reporting tool is different from the contractors tool that they use. So the contractor will have a tool, it lists all their jobs for the day, the priority of those jobs, and then they will mark on there that they've completed it, or the reason why they couldn't do it, or
whatever it is.
For them. And then, of course, those two systems are completely different. In order to merge them in any way would require completely new software. In the current financial climate, it is not a priority of this administration to procure new software to change the online reporting tool. Not when we have sort of a rising demand for adult social care and rising demand for children's social care and SEND. Those have to be our priorities.
Those have got to be your priority.
Yeah, absolutely. So the online reporting tool, it is a little bit clunky, but it works. It does work. And if there is any resident who is having real difficulty reporting anything to us, then please please contact your local councillors. Contact details for every ward councillor can be found on the website. Drop them an email or a call or message, and explain to them the problem, and they can then report that for you, potentially through other channels.
Yeah, so there are always other routes
absolutely,
to take.
Absolutely. Yeah, please don't let it put you off reporting.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know that there's an issue, we can't do anything about it.
Now, Christopher wrote in and wanted to ask about the local Muslim community using the running track for prayers on Fridays when weather is good.
Yeah.
And I just he wanted to ask you why that's allowed.
That's allowed because we have freedom of religion in this country. You are free to express yourself how you desire, and that's one of the beautiful things about living in Great Britain, that we have that freedom. We are blessed with a range of faiths in this borough. As we saw on Good Friday, we had the prayer and celebration. It would be absolutely wrong for a council to stop this, to tell them that they cannot do that. I believe in freedom of religion, and it's one of the signature rights of this country, and it's what it means to be British. Thank you to all the residents who have asked questions to me today. This is going to be a regular monthly series, so you can ask myself and all the other Bracknell Forest Cabinet members any questions that you have. Go to the link in the post to sign up for my newsletter.